Blackstone Audio presents Hidden Truth by Dawn Cook. For Tim. 1. Alissa crept up the stairway, her skirts gripped tightly in her fists. Gaze fixed upon the landing, she felt for the next step, easing herself up in what she hoped looked like casual disinterest. This was not a good idea, she thought. She had been making Bailic's meals all winter and knew risking his attention was asking for trouble. Taking a slow breath, she hesitated, the opposing feelings of curiosity and common sense teetering in her. Pulse quickening, she resumed her upward motion. Curiosity won. Not that that was a surprise, she admitted. She had woken as usual before dawn, pulled from her warm covers by a feeling of discontent. There was nothing different she could see about today than yesterday. The sparrows still pecked on the rooftops of the hold. The ice mist rose as the sky brightened in a false dawn. The fires needed tending, and the mice ran when she turned corners. But an unexplained restlessness, an itching to do something, had filled her. Even worse, she was unable to tell what needed doing. It almost seemed she should have done it already, and the feeling of having been remiss tugged at her. This morning, as her feet touched the floor, a strange need to find out what Bailic wanted for breakfast filled her. It pulled her up the tower stairs when a healthy measure of caution urged her to go the other way, back down to the kitchen. Up until today, she hadn't cared if the madman liked what she made for his breakfast or not. And she said mad, for anyone who claimed ownership of the hold, when it clearly wasn't his, had to be mad. The only reason she made Bailic's meals was to keep him out of her kitchen. But now it seemed as if knowing what he wanted might end her discontent. Alissa drew to a stop as she realized her fingertips were tingling. She dropped her gathered skirts and stared at her hands, her disquiet growing. "By the hounds of the navigator," she whispered, opening and closing her hands. Her fingers only tingled when she was near a dangerous ward, and then it was painful, not this warm sensation. This felt more like, "When I held my book of first truth," she whispered in dismay, leaning back against the stone of the stairwell. A sound of self-disgust slipped from her. "Burn it to ash," she muttered. "Strella's going to have to pen me up like a nanny goat." It was her book that had been filling her with this intolerable restlessness, enticing her to come and steal it back, not caring that if she were caught, Bailic would kill her. Last fall she had unknowingly followed its silent pull from her foothills farm across the mountains to the legendary hold. Never would she have believed her papa's stories about the hold were true, and that her papa, Keeper Mason—
Sample complete. Ready to continue?